Jack secretly followed Mrs. Peterson. He wanted to find out if she had really done something to betray her husband, but instead he saw a group of off-duty soldiers arguing with her. Things looked tense. Still, Jack stepped in to calm everyone down. It seemed like there had just been a misunderstanding.
Wait, look, where you going? Where you going?
So why doesn't everybody just go home? That's right, go home.
Sergeant,
Why don't you go
take a
home?
walk.
Yeah? Why doesn't everybody just go home?
You guys know
What
where
are
to
you
find
looking
us.
at? Just go home.
you okay?
Once it was settled, Jack turned to leave. But as he passed the bus stop, he saw Mrs. Peterson and her son standing by the road, waiting for a bus. Moved by kindness, Jack offered them a ride home. On the way, they chatted.
I was getting a prescription, and that's why I was at the mall. I have this. I gotta take drops for.
After dropping them off, Jack noticed her car was having trouble, so he offered to take a look and help out. While checking under the hood, he spotted a few issues and told Mrs. Peterson what needed fixing. Once everything was in order, Jack quietly took his leave. The next day, while heading out on a mission with Mike, Jack casually brought up the encounter.
You saw the shirt? She's got someone.
Jesus, why is it always the quiet ones? Where are your morals, hero? It's just too easy. You bring her husband's death and then you try to fuck her. It's a real head case. You've been warned.
Thank you, sir. I will make a note of that.
Everyone knew Jack as a soldier, a brave young man who had just returned to his unit. But during the war, an injury to his eyes left him unable to return to the front lines. His superiors, aware of his condition, decided to give him a new assignment, to deliver the news of fallen soldiers to their families back home. It was a solemn and honorable task, because as brutal and unforgiving as war was, each day brought new casualties. While back home, families still waited in hope for their sons to return safely. The job sounded simple, but in reality, it was anything but. Most families broke down upon hearing the news. Their grief was raw and their pain overwhelming. Jack's commander told him to first shadow Mike, an experienced messenger, to learn the meaning and weight of the job. Jack followed Mike to a diner where Mike explained the key points of the role.
Read the guidebook. Learn the script. Stick to the script. Fill in the blanks from the casualty report. You do not speak with anybody other than the next of kin. No friend, no neighbor, no co-worker or mistress.
There were specific hours for making a visit and a proper way to notify next of kin. They were not to show too much emotion and never to linger in a family's home for long. The next day, Jack and Mike began their duty. As they drove, Mike went over more details.
Soldiers on a notification definitely, positively, do not ask for freaking directions. No GPS, no map quest. We navigate.
They don't intentionally have too many emotions. You can't stay too long in their house. So they began their mission as messengers. Jack began his new mission, joining Mike for his first assignment, delivering a message. They arrived at the home of a fallen soldier. Jack knocked on the door, but no one answered. Mike decided they should leave and come back later. Just as they were turning to go, a man, Martin, returned home. Martin asked who they were and what they wanted. Jack stepped forward and delivered the heartbreaking news. His son had died in combat.
The Secretary of the Army has asked me to express his deep regret that your son, Specialist Eric Martin, was killed in action yesterday in southern Iraq by sniper fire. You will receive a more complete report as soon as possible, sir. What we can tell you right now is that his platoon came under sniper fire, and it was an instant death.
Upon hearing it, Martin's face twisted in disbelief and pain. He was furious. His son was only 20. He had been holding on to hope, waiting every day for his son to come home safely. And now these strangers were telling him his boy was gone forever. Martin couldn't accept it. He lashed out at Jack, yelling and placing all his grief and rage onto him. But Mike and Jack had no words that could help.
A casualty assistance officer will contact you in 4
Fucking
hours.
bastards.
We'll notify you in 4 hours. Is there a neighbor or a friend or a family member that can come and help you in your trying time?
They had done what they were sent to do. I can only leave silently. On the walk back, Mike told Jack, "You'll have to get used to this." Every military family holds on to hope, and their job, delivering these messages, meant destroying that hope. Later, Jack went to the hospital to have his eyes examined. The doctor told him to take his medication on time. His vision would recover slowly. Sitting there, Jack thought to himself how lucky he was. If that bullet had struck just a little higher, if it had hit his temple, his own family might be receiving the very same visit right now. On the way to deliver the next notification, Jack accidentally ran a red light. A traffic cop pulled him over. In a hurry to complete the task, Jack explained the situation.
The soldier died. We're going to notify the widow.
It's not an emergency.
It's about timing. You know that.
Yeah, well, you get into a wreck on your way to a notification, you kill somebody, you get yourself killed. How's that gonna feel? That's a jackass move.
You believe this shit?
Excuse me?
No, he's right. He's right.
But still had no choice but to hand over his license. After the stop, he and Mike arrived at the Peterson residence. They adjusted their uniforms and stepped in to meet Mrs. Peterson. Once they confirmed her identity,
He was killed in action yesterday in the city of Mosul. That's all the information we have now, ma'am, but Secretary of the Army extends his deepest sympathies to you.
Thanks.
And
There's no need. I would ask you in, but my little boy. Am I supposed to call Phil's parents?
Not unless you want to, ma'am. Your husband's DD-93 has you listed as the primary NOK. A local notification team has been alerted.
Okay, thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Mike calmly delivered the
I
news
would
of
ask you
Peterson's
in,
death.
but
After hearing
my
it,
little
Mrs.
boy.
Peterson remained unusually calm. No
Call
tears,
Phil's
no visible
parents?
sadness. She simply said, "I understand." Her reaction was so composed it made Jack uneasy. He had never seen a family member react to such tragic news like that. He turned to Mike and said, "There's something off about her." Mike told him not to overthink it, but Jack couldn't shake the feeling. That night, he drove alone back to Mrs. Peterson's house and sat outside watching from a distance, trying to figure out what was really going on inside. This time, the notice was for Mario's family. After confirming the identity of Mario's wife, Mike gently broke the news of his death. Upon hearing it,
Can you just leave us for a second?
Your husband,
Can you ask your
Corporal
buddy to
Mario
shut up and get out of
Galindo,
here?
was killed last night in Iraq by an improvised explosive device. Secretary of the Army has asked me to express his deepest sympathy to you. The casualty assistance officer will contact you in the next few hours.
Mario's wife burst into tears. Thankfully, her father was there to comfort her. After finishing their duty, Mike and Jack quietly left. Elsewhere, it was the day of Peter's burial. Mike was there to attend, while Jack stood at a distance, watching silently. Peter's wife showed no emotion throughout the entire funeral. When it was over, Mike and Jack still had one more family to visit. They gathered themselves, then knocked on the next door. Mike was the first to speak.
You, Angel Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, the Secretary of the Army, has asked me to extend his deepest regret that your daughter, Patricia, was killed in a helicopter crash at 7 a.m. our time in the Anbar province of Iraq. You'll be further advised as more information becomes available. The Secretary of the Army extends his deepest sympathy to you and your family in your tragic loss.
Once that notification was complete, Jack finally returned home. But just as he picked up his phone, he received a breakup message from his girlfriend. Confused and frustrated, he tried calling her over and over, but couldn't get through. Overwhelmed with anger, Jack punched the wall. Every day brought a new family to notify, and every notification meant one more soldier lost. At first, Jack didn't understand, but slowly he began to realize the true meaning of their duty. It was honorable, sacred, a way to bring peace to the souls of the fallen. This time, they were sent to notify an elderly couple. The moment the old man and woman saw Jack and Mike at the door, it was as if they already knew. Before Jack could even speak, the old gentleman began to sway. Visibly distressed, Jack crouched down, speaking gently and patiently.
No, talk to me, sweetheart.
The Secretary of the Army has asked me to express his deep regret that your son, Walton Flanagan, died yesterday in Iraq. The Secretary of the Army extends his deepest sympathy to you and your family in your tragic. The casualty assistance officer will contact you within a few hours. Do you need anything? Do you need a ride? Do you want us to call someone?
Seeing their overwhelming grief, Jack couldn't help it. He reached out and embraced them, offering quiet comfort. But that gesture, however kind, was a violation of protocol. Mike saw it, and he was furious. As soon as Jack stepped outside, Mike confronted him, demanding an explanation.